You are lying in your bed. The blankets are soft, the room is warm, and you are slowly drifting off to sleep. Your thoughts become fuzzy, your breathing slows down, and your muscles start to relax. You are entering a state of peaceful slumber. And then, without warning, it hits you. A sudden, violent sensation of falling, a terrifying plunge into a bottomless, dark void. In a split second, your body convulses. Your legs kick, your arms twitch, and your eyes fly wide open. Your heart is pounding in your chest, and you gasp for air as if you just escaped a near-death experience. But you haven't moved an inch. You are still in your warm bed, surrounded by pillows. This bizarre and heart-stopping experience is called a hypnic jerk, or a sleep start. More than 70% of humans experience it regularly. But why? Why does a brain that is trying to rest suddenly send a massive electric shock to your muscles, making you feel like you are plummeting to your death? To understand this, we have to travel back in time, not by a few hundred years, but by millions. Because the shock you feel in your comfortable bed today is not a modern glitch. It is an ancient message, a 5-million-year-old warning system designed to keep you from becoming a predator's midnight snack. Before we look at our ancient ancestors, let's understand what is happening inside your head at that exact moment. Falling asleep seems like a simple, gradual process, like sliding down a ramp. But inside your brain, it is actually a hostile takeover. Two powerful neurological systems are fighting for control of your body. On one side is the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS. This is your brain's wakefulness center. It is a network of neurons that keeps you alert, conscious, and responsive to the world around you. On the other side is the Ventrolateral Preoptic Nucleus, or the VLPO. This is your brain's sleep switch. When it's time to rest, the VLPO begins to suppress the RAS, releasing neurotransmitters like GABA to turn off your conscious mind and relax your muscles. Normally, this transition is smooth. The sleep system slowly overpowers the wake system, and your muscles gradually lose their tone, a state called motor atonia. But sometimes, there's a glitch in the transition. If the sleep system wins too quickly, if your muscles relax at an abnormally rapid rate before your brain has completely shut off consciousness, your brain gets confused. Your motor system detects a sudden, massive loss of muscle tone. It scans the body and realizes there's no tension in your limbs. But because your conscious mind is still slightly active, the brain's internal gravity sensor, the vestibular system, detects this sudden relaxation as a physical disaster. It thinks, wait, we have no support, we are dropping, we are falling. Panicking, your motor cortex fires an immediate, massive burst of electrical activity to your muscles. It's an emergency reflex to pull you back, causing your legs to kick and your arms to twitch. This sudden, involuntary muscle spasm is what scientists call myoclonus. So, in a very literal sense, a hypnic jerk is your brain misinterpreting the act of falling asleep as actually falling. But why would our brains be so hypersensitive to a sudden loss of muscle tone? Why did evolution design a system that treats relaxation as a life-or-death crisis? To find the answer, we have to look at how our ancestors slept. Today, we sleep on soft mattresses, inside locked rooms, guarded by alarms. But for the vast majority of primate history, sleeping on the ground was a death sentence. Imagine you are Ardi, an early tree-dwelling hominid ancestor living 5 million years ago. You are small, slow, and lack sharp claws or teeth. On the ground, the night belongs to massive, specialized predators, saber-toothed cats, giant hyenas, and leopards that can track your scent in the dark. To survive the night, you have to go up. Every evening, as the sun sets, you climb into the safety of the canopy. You find a thick, stable branch, or weave a temporary nest of leaves and twigs high above the forest floor. Sleeping in a tree is a highly skilled balancing act. You cannot simply roll over or relax completely. If you slip into deep sleep and your muscles go completely limp, gravity will take over. You will fall from the branch. A fall from a 30-foot canopy is catastrophic. It means broken bones, internal bleeding, or landing directly in front of a waiting predator. So, evolution had to build a safety net, and that safety net was the hypnic jerk. When Ardi was sleeping on a branch, if her body started to slip or if her muscle tone dropped too quickly, her brain would detect the danger instantly. Before she could fall, the brain would send a massive jolt of adrenaline and electricity to her muscles, forcing her to wake up, grasp the branch, and adjust her position. If Artie ignored that signal even once, if she just kept sleeping as she slipped off the branch, she would have plunged to the forest floor. She would have died, and her genetic line would have ended. You only exist today because your ancestors had a brain that treated a sudden drop in muscle tone as a biological red alert. The Hypnic jerk is a direct inheritance from those tree-dwelling survivors. But if sleeping in trees was so vital, why did we ever leave? And how did this shape our modern sleep? The transition happened about 1.8 million years ago with the rise of Homo erectus. Homo erectus was different from earlier hominids like Ardipithecus. They had longer legs, shorter arms, and bodies built for walking and running on the ground, not climbing trees. They had lost the grasping feet of their ancestors. Sleeping in trees was no longer an option. But the ground was still full of predators. The solution that changed human history was fire. When Homo erectus learned to control and maintain fire, they created a portable wall of safety. Predators are naturally terrified of fire. A crackling campfire served as a powerful shield, keeping the saber-toothed cats and hyenas at a distance. For the first time in millions of years, our ancestors could sleep on the ground. And this ground sleep triggered a massive leap in human evolution. Because they were safe on the ground, Homo erectus did not have to worry about falling. They could finally experience deep, uninterrupted REM sleep. The phase of sleep where we dream, consolidate memories, and process emotions. Tree-dwelling primates like chimpanzees spend only about 5% of their sleep in REM because they are constantly alert to the danger of falling. Humans spend nearly 25% of their sleep in REM. This deep, high-quality sleep allowed our brains to grow larger, more complex, and more creative. But even though we moved to the ground 1.8 million years ago, evolution is a slow process. It does not delete old code. It simply writes new programs on top of it. Your brain's ancient tree safety software is still running in the background. Your nervous system still uses the same basic circuits that Artie used millions of years ago. So if this is an ancient reflex, why do we experience it more on some nights than others? In the modern world, we don't sleep in trees, but we do subject our bodies to modern stressors that mimic the conditions of a threatened ancestor. When you drink a large cup of coffee late in the afternoon, or when you are stressed about a work deadline, your reticular activating system, the wakefulness center, is highly overstimulated. It is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. When you lie down to sleep, your tired body tries to force itself into relaxation, but your brain is still in a state of high alert. This creates a massive conflict between the sleep switch, VLPO, and the wake center, RAS. The sleep system attempts to shut down the muscles quickly, but the alert wake system interprets this rapid relaxation as a loss of control, a fall. The result? A massive, violent hypnic jerk. Lack of sleep, high stress, caffeine, and even sleeping in an uncomfortable position can all increase the frequency of sleep starts. Your body is essentially saying, "We are in danger. Why are you relaxing? Wake up!" So, the next time you are tucked in your bed and you suddenly jerk awake feeling like you are falling into a bottomless pit, don't be annoyed. Don't think of it as a sleep disorder or an annoying glitch in your body's wiring. Take a deep breath, feel the soft mattress beneath you, and look at the ceiling. That sudden spasm was a message from the deep past. It is the echo of a 5 million-year-old survival instinct that kept your ancestors safe on the branches of the African canopy. It is the reason they didn't fall, the reason they survived the night, and the reason you are here today to tell the story. You are not failing a sleep test. You are carrying the legacy of the ultimate survivors. What about you? How often do you experience these falling nightmares? Do they happen when you are stressed, or do they catch you completely by surprise? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to uncover more of the hidden biological codes that run our daily lives, hit the subscribe button for Why We Do.